Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Not only a massive game between Colorado State and Colorado happening this weekend, but also a massive recruiting weekend and a massive opportunity for Coach Prime and this Colorado Buffaloes program to continue to build what is happening out in Boulder. Obviously, we all see what's happening. It is truly special. We don't see this often in sports. And something that we've talked a lot about is did a phenomenal job in the transfer portal, getting this team ready to win games immediately. Coach Prime's always said, no, the time is now. We're not going to kind of taking multiple years to build this program. We expect to win immediately. He's done that, but we've kind of said the potential of this program, the high upside of this program kind of lies in Coach Prime's ability to recruit the talent from the high school ranks, get them into the program, develop them. And this is a weekend that kind of really will set the tone for this Colorado program. And again, we said, like, people want to go, like, these young kids want to go play for Deion Sanders in this Colorado program. And if they start winning some games like they have been in 2023, this all of a sudden becomes a top destination for a lot of these kids. And you're going to see it with all the visitors that they'll be having this weekend. Now, before we get in to the visitors that'll be on campus this weekend, just want to say thank you to you guys. Like, the support you guys have shown, all this Colorado talk, truly, it's been amazing. I love talking about it. I think it is the coolest story in college football. The support you guys have shown truly means a lot. So if you enjoy the updates, you enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And now let's get into this visitor weekend. It's a loaded slate. You have some top targets from the 2024 class, but also in that 2025 class, the number one player in the 2025 class will be on campus. We'll get to him in a little bit. Let's start with the 2024 class, and we're starting on the offensive line with the number one interior offensive lineman in the 2024 class, Jordan Seaton, plays at IMG. This is a guy that is pretty much sought after by every program in the country, right? Ohio State's in on him, Alabama's in on him, Florida's in on him. He's taking a visit to Colorado. But the thing I like about his game the most is he's extremely versatile. He plays tackle at IMG, 6'5", 290 pounds, has the frame to play tackle, but also can play guard. The versatility, the depth that he'll provide to this offensive line. And that's something that we've talked a lot about. Coach Prime did a phenomenal job with the skill guys in one of the conversations. And you know he's going to get the top wide receivers, the top cornerbacks. I think a lot of the questions a lot of people had is, oh, that offensive line ain't that good. Well, one, it's a lot better than people thought. And two, he's still building those guys. And he's even said, yeah, we're still working on getting some of those bodies into this program. Jordan Seaton, one of the best offensive linemen in this class, represents a massive opportunity for Coach Prime to really start building those trenches up. Now, the next guy who will be on campus, an Alabama commit from SEC territory, Jeremiah Beeman. And the thing that stands out to me, not only is Jeremiah Beeman just a kind of game wrecker, right? 6'4", 265 pounds, but Coach Prime going right into the heart of SEC territory and kind of piquing the interest of a lot of these guys, right? Jeremiah Beeman offers from Bama, Auburn, Georgia. He's committed to Alabama, but taking a visit to Colorado, that just kind of shows you the draw that Coach Prime has, and especially with a defensive lineman straight in SEC territory. Another massive opportunity to kind of continue to build those trenches. Now, the next one, and one of my favorite players in the 2024 class, four-star athlete Boo Carter from Tennessee. He's a guy that you see all the success that Travis Hunter's having playing two ways. No doubt a guy like Boo Carter and the guy we'll talk about next is looking at that and like, not many programs are going to let you play both sides of the football. Travis Hunter doing so. I think Boo Carter probably a little bit more interested in Colorado after seeing all the success Travis Hunter has. Boo Carter, I think, will be one of the top nickel corners in the whole entire country. That's kind of where I think he finds his home. That being said, you talk about movement skills, you talk about special athleticism. He's a guy that plays running back, slot wide receiver at high school. I could certainly see Colorado pitching, hey, you see what Travis Hunter's doing? Having the opportunity to touch the football on both sides. Boo Carter, you're a guy that can do that too, and will give you that opportunity. Again, an opportunity that not a lot of these SEC programs are going to offer some of these young athletes. And again, same thing we talk about Boo Carter. Very similar conversation with Aaron Butler, one of the best two-way players in the country. He's already committed to Colorado, and I love that he'll be on campus, right? You already have someone who's kind of verbally committed, say, I believe in what Coach Prime is doing. I want to be a part of it. Having him on campus with a bunch of top targets is going to be massive. And, I mean, Aaron Butler is a guy that Oregon, USC, pretty much all the schools across the country want this kid, having him on campus, solidifying that commitment. That's going to be massive. And now let's get to the 2025 class. And this is where it gets fun. I get this is kind of farther off in the distance, but when you're a Colorado fan and you see what's happening, continuing to stack these top recruiting classes, that's when it gets special. And we're going to start with the number one player in the country, the number one quarterback in the country, Bryce Underwood, who, again, as long as Sean Lewis is there, quarterbacks are going to go want to play for this system. You see Deion Sanders, legitimate, bona fide Heisman candidate. Mel Kiper just said he was the top three quarterback in that 2024 draft class. You trust the development. You trust the offensive play calling. Bryce Underwood, as a Michigan fan, I hope he goes to Michigan. But, man, 6'3.5", 205 pounds, the best player in the class. His first 2 years of high school football as a freshman and sophomore threw for over 5,500 yards and 76 touchdowns. This guy has the pedigree. He has the experience. I know there's some buzz about him reclassifying to that 2024 class. And you talk about the potential runway for quarterback play. And there's a real chance Deion Sanders plays himself into a first-round draft pick, and he's gone after this year. And you can get Bryce Underwood coming in next. The most important position, and we just learned this with watching Colorado, is having elite quarterback play. Bryce Underwood can kind of continue that. And they kind of came out of nowhere. And I think this is probably the biggest example of Coach Prime just kind of piquing everyone's interest. Like Bryce Underwood, I don't think Colorado was on Bryce Underwood's radar a couple months ago. And now he sees what Deion Sanders is doing. He sees what this offense is doing. He's seeing all the success that Colorado's having. He says, hey, this is a place where I can go play early and have a massive impact on the national stage. For a guy like Bryce Underwood, it would make a lot of sense for him to go to Colorado. Obviously, this is going to be a tough one. Michigan really in on him. LSU really in on him. He's the number one player in the country. Everybody's in on him. But Colorado getting a visit. He was supposed to visit a little later, wanted to push up that process. I think that's a really good sign for Colorado. And the last guy I want to talk about, five-star wide receiver Dallas Wilson from Tampa, Florida. And again, Coach Prime, the roots in Florida. Dallas Wilson committed to Oregon right now. He'll be taking a visit. Now, he was supposed to go to Florida this weekend from what I heard. He's going to be at Colorado. Again, one, he's not afraid to go out west because he's committed to Oregon. And then two, he's from Florida. This would make a lot of sense for Coach Prime to land Dallas Wilson. You talk about landing the number one quarterback and a top 5 wide receiver in the 2025 class. That could be really special for Colorado. Now, kind of my overarching opinions on the recruiting trail is Coach Prime did a really good job in the transfer portal. I think a lot of his recruiting efforts went to the transfer portal the last couple of months. So you see the 2024 class not built out like some other programs. That being said, you win a lot of games, and we said this a lot throughout the summer. You win games here, these guys are going to want to go play for Coach Prime. They all want to go to Colorado and play. They want to make sure this is a program that's going in the right direction. It's not going to be the 1-11 team you saw in 2022. That's clear. We don't see that. This is a winning culture that's being instilled, and I think you're going to see a lot of these guys take a lot more interest in Colorado over the next couple of weeks. We'll continue to monitor it. Again, when he took the job, I was much more future-oriented. I love the hires. These guys, he's going to be bringing in talent. The talent acquisition for Coach Prime, which is the most important aspect in college football, is acquiring talent. That's going to be a check. But I didn't know it would come together as quickly as it had. And now that it's come together, I think you're going to see a flood of talent. And maybe not all these guys commit to Colorado, but they're going to be interested. They're going to be taking visits. And that is something that you look back 12 months ago, there wasn't a single 4 or 5 star kind of being really interested in Colorado. Now every 4 and 5 star in the country interested in coming to Colorado. We're going to continue to cover who's on campus, who's coming to Colorado, because, again, Coach Prime, really doing something special with this program. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. Again, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all